This clip was taken November 4th, 2022. It's the intersection of my original loop trail and the added loop trail I cut with David's track hoe. And I'm bragging on how nice and dry it is because there's no standing water. And this was shortly after I got his track hoe stuck, so I was super happy. This is the same exact spot going the other direction in March of this year. So what happened? Well, winter happened. Winter happened, everything gets wetter, and the water table comes up. Let me show you exactly where this thing is in the scheme of things. This is the trail recorded on my Strava app, so it is to scale. Ignore the straight line, that's because I had turned my Strava off and turned it back on, but the trails are to scale. So this is the Google Earth version. The black line is about where the intersection is. The orange squiggly circle is the power line servitude, and it is very low. I can drain anything into that. But the yellow is some higher ground, and it keeps the water from draining to the orange until it gets really, really high. The blue is a natural ditch that is good drainage, but my property was not open to it except up at the highway, which was really kind of a wonky way to do it. And then the pink is where I dug a ditch and opened up my property to that ditch. I did this last year. So I came again, I tried again, and I think I found the ditch. This is super low. This is probably 10 feet lower than the surrounding area. I can't really follow it, it's too overgrown. But I believe this is the ditch that we see on Google Earth. And as I backed out, I dug a ditch. So this is the ditch shown in pink on the Google Earth photo. And I dug it last year when it was super dry, so I just got in here with a track hoe and dug. I tried to keep it just roughly a bucket deep because I knew the ground had more or less gradual slope going in the right direction. And it's got a lump or two in it, but for the most part it drains well. So now I have a place for water to go, and I've dug it all the way to the original loop trail. Like I said, it was dry at the time, so I didn't exactly come out at the lowest point of elevation, but I did try to dig the trail through a low area where there was that swamp grass and not big trees. I want this water to go in this pipe and go away, and the only way that's going to happen is if the invert of that pipe, the bottom part of that pipe, is lower than the lowest part of this standing water. So let's see if we can figure that out. Today is the first day of draining the swamp effort, and I've got the laser level set up. It's not really a surveying equipment, but we're going to use it like a surveying equipment. This is the canyon, as the kids call it, and this is the lowest point I've got to drain to. And hopefully this is lower than everything else here, but I don't really know until we shoot some. So I set up the laser as far ahead as I could and still would be able to see the my benchmark here, which I'm calling 0. And I shot 4.83. That means my height of my instrument is 4.83 feet higher than my benchmark. It's elevation 4.83. And then I turned around and shot a turning point because I still couldn't see the wet part. And I got the reading on that was... Okay, so I know the instrument is I forgot what we said, 4.43. And I just turned and put the rod on this little spot. This is not really a proper turning point, but this is what we're going to use. And I shot 3.42. So if the instrument height is I forgot already, and I go down 3.42, then the elevation right here is, according to my calculator, this is the elevation 1.42. This is 1 foot and 42 hundredths higher than our invert of our pipe over there. So now I know what that is. I'm going to leave that undisturbed, and I'm going to move the instrument to this curve right here where I think I can see the final shot when I set it up right there. Let's set it up. Okay, so the instrument's set up and shooting backwards to this point. right, where was it? Right here. I'm at, well, I moved it, but it was 3.89. So if I take 3.89, which is the height of the instrument above that point, and that point is 1.42, I know that from shooting it ahead. So I'm starting out with this piece of dirt that's 1.42 higher than my zero, and I'm going 3.89 higher than that because that's what I shot on the rod. So my new HI, my new height of instrument, is 5.21 feet higher than the invert of that pipe, or the bottom edge of that pipe. So now I just need to go ahead, and I can see all the way now. So stick the rod in the lowest point and cross my fingers that it is indeed higher than the pipe invert. So what I shot sitting down in the mud is, that's weird. If I point my phone at the receiver, it beeps. 4.25. So I take the HI, which was 5 foot something, I got it in my phone, and go down. I'm at 1.05. So the bottom of that water is a foot higher than the invert of my pipe, which is kind of right around the corner. So that's good. I got drainage. I can, I think I might come start digging a ditch, even though it's super sloppy wet, and try to get some of this water off of here so we can start draining a little better. Okay, good news. I may go the other way too and see what's happening that way. Now I'm going the other way to the swampy area, which pretty much always holds water, but I was more concerned about this side of the trail. So this is where the water drains into the swamp. It's pretty close to the canyon. Most of the year it has standing water, but last November I was able to get in here and kind of open it up a little bit and put a culvert across the trail to give me more options. So, assuming the benchmark is 0, the back sight was 4.14, so the HI, the height of the instrument, is 4.14. The foresight was 4.54, so we're at negative 0.4, so we're 0.4 of a foot lower right there in that water than at the invert of my pipe. So I can't drain this that way. However, this does drain to the highway. It just drains really slow. So the good thing is, as I work my way that way, everything should drain this way, because this is like the lowest spot, lower than that water hole over there. It's kind of surprised. Okay, I'm gonna go put the instrument up and get the tractor, and even though it's too wet to dig, I'm gonna dig anyway. Try to get some drainage going. I won't put the dirt on the trail, although summer's coming, so it's gonna dry out no matter how bad no matter what kind of bad decisions I make, it's gonna dry. So you've seen this clip before. This is where I was walking the tractor from the cabin, area, and to the pipe crossing at the canyon. I'm gonna start from the deep end and dig to the shallow end. Actually, it's pretty darn flat, it's just a foot difference, but that's where I'm gonna start, is at the pipe crossing. I've been digging pretty hard for about an hour, stockpiling a lot of dirt, but I'm getting up here where the trail has standing water on it, and I don't want to throw the dirt on the standing water. I'm almost to the bed spot, actually, so I'm trying to let it drain a little bit before I keep on digging. It's going well. It's hard digging around all these trees. You never know which one you want to go around or which one you're trying to save. So it's slow go, but it's going. Now I feel like I'm doing some good. Water is pouring out of the woods into this ditch. All this low area. Yeah, I'm about to get to the worst of it too, so it's going to flow even faster. Now I can get to this ditch, the whole thing, so if I have a high spot, I can get back there with the track hoe and knock it down. That first ditch I dug, I cannot get back to it. But this is not going to be a problem. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I broke through, so you can actually see this water moving. And you can see this water moving, and it's going to all go away in a little while, I hope. We'll see. I have to go back and knock some high spots off of my ditch, but right now, the ditch is full of water, and it used to be everywhere but in the ditch. So, progress. I'm walking the ditch, and this is the worst high spot I've seen so far. I can get to that easily with the track hoe. Let's see what it looks like going under the culvert. Oh, we got a real high spot right here. It hadn't even started. It's blocking the water. The water hasn't even started going through here yet, but I think it will. I can dig it deeper. It's kind of fun to watch. It is working its way toward the culvert, which is right around the corner. That is just a ton of water because I'm a long ways from where the water started coming in. And we should get some mud coming out here soon. Oh yeah. And this is off to the main drainage ditch, which goes to the power lines. Sweet. Draining the swamp. We're draining the swamp. Monday morning, I dug the ditch yesterday. I'm gonna bring the track hoe back in here. On this end, I think I can actually do some good. I can shape the trail, make it crown so it'll drain, and clean out the ditch in a couple of spots. I'm gonna have excess dirt, so I don't know. I can't move it right now because it's too wet. But maybe I'll just put like little piles on the side, so in a few weeks we can come in here with the track hoe and load the bucket of the tractor. Yeah, so I'm gonna do some improvements now. I won't be able to finish it by far. It's way too wet. So this end, the wet end, I'm not gonna be able to do anything with this. We need a good week of sunshine, which I think we have coming up soon. Stockpile the dirt on the side so I wouldn't mix it. I wouldn't mix that mud with this mud. So I can't do anything with here, but I think it's firm enough where I can track over it and get to the other end. So I was able to get in, but I was wrong about being able to do any progress. It's just too soft. It needs a week of this kind of weather, but I was able to open up the ditch, all the bumps that I left, and it's draining pretty sweet. All right, so I'm gonna back out of here. I'm gonna try not to leave any holes that'll hold water, but no guarantees. Let's see if I can get out. Well, I wasn't able to actually grade anything, but I did a lot of good by just backing my way out of here, knocking the piles down and kind of spreading it even, opening it up. Looks a lot better that way than it does that way, but yeah, it's muddier this way, so it won't be as nice looking when I get this next 50 feet, 50 yards. I can't tell. It's this, but we're gonna make it better than it is now. So it's Thursday morning. I was last here Monday morning and it hadn't rained. I was kind of hoping this would have dried up a little better than this, but it didn't. So, but tomorrow's rain forecast, so I'm gonna put 2 or maybe 3 culverts under here to let that side drain to this side, and also go to the end where I have the dirt fill all chopped up so it'll dry. I need to seal it, or otherwise it'll be a real mess if it rains on it. It's already a mess. But I'm gonna dig a hole. Might not put the pipes in yet. I may leave it open. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I got pipes and I got a track hoe and I got fuel and I got 2 days to play, so we'll do something. So I don't know if any of you guys remember, but when I made the video on making trails, I came through this thick stuff from the spot that I got stuck in, and everything was hunky-dory until I got to right here and I started sinking, and then I backed up and went this way. Well, this is that spot. It's still wet. I'm gonna try to help it drain a little bit. Just lower the groundwater table. That's what I'm trying to do right now. So I was right here on Sunday morning, and that's where I started the ditch and dug it all the way to the wettest spot on the property that I know of. And then Monday I came back right here and the water table was down a little bit, so I improved the ditch because I could find the high spots and drain some more, and kind of did some housekeeping with this dirt on my way out. Now this is Thursday and it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so I'm gonna so this morning the water table was way down, so I found more bumps in the ditch and I dug those out, and Now the water table is pretty low. It's still draining, but slowly. But this is too wet still to work with, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So I'm going to back my way out of here, kind of crown the road, kind of get rid of the holes that would hold water, and just get away from it for a week or two. It's just too wet. And unlike my driveway, which I was in a hurry to plant grass for the spring, there's no timeline on this. So I'm going to just back out, crown it the best I can, and just get away from it for a week or two or three. All right, that took an hour. Unfortunately, our little trails turn into highways when you try to dig a ditch next to them. Like this trail I like because it's kind of surrounded by trees. This one was like that, but it didn't drain. So what are you gonna do? I need it to drain or the trail's no good. Maybe we'll plant some more trees. So I'm back to the problem spot. I haven't been here in 3 days, and it rained 2 of the 3 days. And I wasn't able to grade it when I was here last because it was so soft. The track hoe was just sinking out of sight. It was all I could do to get out of here. And that left a bunch of ruts, and now they're all full of rainwater. But with the shovel, I'm able to go along and cut some little rivulets. We're getting some water to move out of here. But I'm really not going to be able to do anything here. We need at least 3 or 4 days of good sunshine, maybe more. So here I am back at the slop hole. Actually, it seems to have a hard bottom. I haven't come close to getting stuck here yet. This might be my lucky day. But if I don't go through here and shape this up so it'll drain rainwater, it might be a month before it dries out. So I'm going to track through and grade behind me and just kind of crown it. I just want it to drain the rainwater. It's too wet to make the road yet, but I'm going to go all the way through, and I'll just leave the track over at the other end. So, running out of batteries. See that water running out of the woods and the trail? It had nowhere to go before I dug this ditch. It just sat on the property. This is working really good. And this is the canyon, and water is definitely coming through here. The new ditch I dug. And the dirt that's on the trail is getting really stiff. I don't sink in it at all. So, yeah, someday soon I'll be able to come put final grade on it, and that'll be done. We'll let nature grow some grass back here. And now we're back to what was the lowest spot on the trail, where the ditch ended. And it's still a mess, but it is draining to the ditch. And this stuff is getting a little stiffer. I'm able to walk on it without going up, so I probably have to dig a little swale this way so we can get to that ditch better. And the water is coming from this other trail, draining this way under the trail through that pipe, and it is dumping into this other little ditch. I don't know what to call this ditch. Bypass ditch. Yeah, it's humming through here. Look at that. Yeah, so before I started, standing right here would be over my boots, and now we have good fall from where I'm standing to the water in the ditch. I just need to do some final grading. This could probably use a little more dirt being brought in. Yeah, super stoked. Good stuff. Okay, folks, I am standing at the tip of the canyon. This is the trail that this video is about. This is the ditch I dug. And going the other way toward the swamp, I've made some improvements, but it's not ready. But this one's ready. I just did a final drag of the blade of a mini hoe, which, you know, it's kind of ugly because it doesn't tilt, but you can tell that it's holding up the machine just fine. Couldn't have done this 2 weeks ago. So we have a good trail here. So I put this C900 pipe across here. I'm not sure why. Probably because I drug it all the way out here and I didn't want to drag it back. So this trail on the left is like a 3-number interstate that ends in an odd number. It doesn't go anywhere. This is where I took the track hoe to find
the big ditch so I could tie into it. This little ditch right here, it's just a catty corner ditch going back to the trail. And this area was so low that I figured, well, it's not gonna hurt. Let me dig a ditch through here and help drain it. And then this is the low spot where in my original trail video, I came out here and it was the first soft spot I hit. And I kind of use it as a bar pit, so now it's really low. And then this is the original main trail. And I just dug this little ditch to build a trail up. And I haven't done it earlier because it was so soft and mucky. I was kind of scared I'd get stuck if I started wiggling the hoe around. Now this is the new trail. It goes back by the spot I got stuck, David's track hoe stuck. This is the miracle tree. It's still alive. I had clobbered it so many times. And yeah, this is not stiff because I just put this on top, but it held the track hoe up. So from here back toward the cabin, this first part I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. The second part I got it, and here's the shortcut ditch. So super happy, super happy. We got a trail here. Even next winter when the water comes up, this will stay hard because we have drainage. We're above the water table. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. I got to walk this thing back because it's down to 1 megapixel of fuel according to the fuel gauge. I need to get it back there so I don't have to carry 5 gallons all the way down this trail. So this is the original trail coming from the road where my cabin is. And last summer, I guess, I dug this little shallow ditch and threw the dirt on the trail. So raised the trail a few inches, not very much, and gave the water a place to go. And now the trail is hard as a rock. I've just made 30 trips with this tractor. It doesn't even leave a mark. But right here, as soon as there was no more ditch, the trail turns into muck. And it's like this all the way down. Because once you wear the grass out, all of a sudden the road becomes a valley and it holds water, and it just sits there, and then the next time you drive on it, you sink deeper because it's soft, and on and on and on. So as soon as it dries out, I'm going to continue this little ditch. Doesn't have to be deep. We're going to go all the way to pretty far. I don't know how far. We're going to go.